Cleveland Browns actually got some great news from the NFL trade deadline that just finished up yesterday on November 4th. Welcome into the Browns Report, everybody. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue, and I know I made a video yesterday literally crashing out about the Browns standing still on trade deadline day. But another team did some good work for us. We're going to get into the great news that Cleveland got. But first, hit that subscribe button, folks. If you're new here, or you're one of the viewers that's watching the videos and hasn't joined the family, go ahead and tap that free red subscribe button. We're pushing to 58,000 subs. Guys, I'm so excited. I really think we can hit 60K this November. Y'all are the best for that. Join the family here. I'm giving you daily Cleveland Browns news and content. So join the party. The New York Jets, ladies and gentlemen, have helped out your Cleveland Browns by some of the moves that they made on trade deadline day. Let's take a look at them and analyze why this is such great news for the Cleveland Browns before Sunday comes to town for NFL Week 10. Well, they traded two of their big star players. Sauce Gardner, no longer in the picture for the New York Jets cornerbacks, and Quinnen Williams, their star defensive lineman, is out of town as well. Those are two players that were going to make it difficult for Cleveland's offense, who has been struggling all season long, to get going on Sunday. But now they don't have to game plan for those two players. You don't have to think about Sauce Gardner or Quinnen Williams anymore. The Jets are looking a little bit more depleted on defense. There is a report from Diana Rossini that they blew up a top 5 defense. I don't know if it was that good. I think they were struggling a bit this season already. And then they just traded their two best players. What do I have to say about that? This man, Quinshon Judkins, is going to have a field day running all over the New York Jets. This is great for Browns fans. This is great for Judkins fantasy football owners like myself, Prize Picks lineups, you name it. Quinshon Judkins is going to make you look great on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited about it. And the New York Jets run defense, as compared to the rest of the NFL, they're 6th worst in the National Football League. They give up 135.8 rushing yards per game. Judkins is going to take advantage of that. And that's with Quinnen Williams, by the way. He's not there anymore. It's going to make things easy on the young rookie who's had a great season so far in just 7 games played. The man has 486 rushing yards. He's averaging over 4 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns on the season. That's why I call him Quinshon Judkins, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he's been cooking. He's been a bright spot for your Cleveland Browns all season long. And I expect that to continue against New York, who now does not have their 2-star cornerstones on defense. Some other metrics for you about number 10, Quinshon Judkins. He faces 8+ defenders in the box over 44% of the time. That is second most among every single player in the NFL. And you'd think that's a bad thing for his stats, right? Well, he's accumulated 104 rushing yards over expected this season. That is 6th most in the NFL. So even though he's facing stacked boxes, he's producing more than he should be. We have a real talent. He's second amongst rookies in rushing yards, but he's literally just 1 yard shy of Ashton Jeanty's 487, and Jeanty's played an extra game. He's looking like the best rookie running back in the class so far, statistically, and just watching him, his vision, his elusiveness, really his power and strength. The fact that he's hard to bring down, and it got over 100 yards rushing over expected, according to Next Gen Stats. It shows you the kind of talent we have in Cleveland at the moment. And I think we need this excitement, Browns fans. We've had a rough couple weeks. It's been a bit of a rough season. I had some higher expectations for the Browns. I still do, based on how good our defense is. I think we need some of this juice that we're going to get on Sunday. A game where the offense does something. And Judkins is going to give us that. I expect it to be something like the Dolphins game. We might absolutely go out there and rout New York, who is full rebuild now. And we need that sort of juice, some life. It could literally be like what we did against Miami, where they put Gabriel on the bench, went wildcat to Judkins for 2 of the touchdowns. And the defense absolutely mauled the Miami Dolphins. I could see that happening against the New York Jets. So get excited and tell me, is a big day coming for Quinshon Judkins? In the comments section, predict his stat line against the New York Jets. Excited to see what you guys think he will do in that comment section. I'm expecting a big day, over 100 yards for QJ. The question is for the rest of the Browns offense, though, will the wide receivers finally come alive? Sauce Gardner not going to be out there for the Jets, obviously. And so does that open things up? I've got some numbers for us to look at and some quotes from Kevin Stefanski himself that suggest some positive signs for the wide receivers. But first, this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Football is in full swing now on Sundays. All is right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with Prize Picks. I'm obsessed with it because it makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. You can also follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. That includes my lineup, and you know I have to have Quinshon Judkins in there from what I just told you. More than 79.5 rush yards I'm expecting against New York. Let's also go to rookie Jackson Dart. More than half a passing touchdown. I expect him to do that. Bryce Young, more than half a passing touchdown against the awful Saints. That's my lineup. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Kevin Stefanski and what he had to say. But first, Tony Grossi asked him a pretty funny question. He said, Reese talked about how you've got to make Dillon Gabriel comfortable throwing the ball downfield, and yet it got worse in the New England game. So what's the problem? Why can't he throw the ball to wide receivers? What does Stefanski say? Said, I'd say that's something that we just have to be better collectively. It's what he always says. That's us putting our quarterbacks in positions where those opportunities exist. That's us putting our receivers in positions where they can be open, whether it's downfield, intermediate, you name it. That's something that we all need to do better at. That seems to be the story for the Cleveland Browns this week is everyone's pestering them about why the wide receivers have had a lack of production. I mean, last year, we thought Jeudy had emerged as a real legitimate wide receiver 1. He was 6th in the NFL in receiving yards, over 1,200. I do think part of that is, honestly, quarterback. I think Jameis Winston, who was just gunslinging it, throwing 400 yards and 4 interceptions, actually helped Jerry Jeudy. That's why I get on Gabriel and say that he's part of this issue. But the wide receiver room as a whole this season has just been awful, according to PFF. I showed you this. I mean, they're ranked towards the bottom half. I mean, literally towards the very bottom half. PFF ranked 128 wide receivers. Is where the Cleveland Browns stack up. Their grades look awful. It's not good. ESPN did the same thing. Had some ranks for the Cleveland Browns wide receivers, and you're not going to like them either. So partially this has been a collective problem, like Stefanski said, quarterback, coaching, and just the receivers play this season. Judy's had a few drops. But ESPN has ranked 98 pass catchers this season, and Jerry Jeudy and Isaiah Bond are tied for dead last, 98th on ESPN's receiver ranking index. Like I said, it's everyone's problem, but it's absolutely been a wide receiver problem too. This is a get-right game, which I think Cleveland needs as well. They're going to have their way with some Jets corners that are not nearly as talented as Sauce. And Isaiah Bond has already been ruled out for the game. This is a come-alive game for Jerry Jeudy. Cedric Tillman's back in the lineup as well. Player that we need to see, I haven't seen in a few weeks, coming off of IR. I think that'll juice up the Cleveland Browns as well. And so my take on the matter is with the Jets trading away their star defensive players, that can allow the Browns offense to look good this Sunday, to come alive. That can give you momentum, even if they think the season's over, which I never give up. At least you want to have that sort of excitement, that momentum going into the back half of the season of, hey, we have bright spots on offense. against the depleted Jets defense, this is the week to do this. This is the week to show out. I mean, Jeudy had 0 catches last week. I expect if there's any game we try to get him more involved, it's this one. And there's no excuse now against the Jets defense that has not been great and just trade away their 2 best players. This is the game to do it. This is the game to show out. And if you don't, if that fails, well, then just fire everybody and start Shedeur. I mean, that's where we're at. If Dillon Gabriel and this offense do not beat the Jets or look good against New York, fire everybody and go to number 12. But I think we're going to see some good offense this week. I mean, I would be shocked if they can't put up points against the New York Jets and accumulate some yards. Specifically, it's going to be Quinshon Judkins leading the way, I would imagine. But look out for the wide receivers to finally make an impact. What do you think, Browns fans? Predict the score of Browns versus Jets. Comment that in the comment section down below. You think we're going to get a big dub like we did against the Dolphins? I think we can beat the bad teams. It's kind of funny. We blow out the bad teams, we get blown out by the good teams. We're facing a bad team. Let's get hyped for a Cleveland Browns dub. Let me know in the comment section. Going over to X and follow me at JoeYo70 as well. You know, I'll always be tweeting some funny stuff on there and interacting with you guys. Give me a follow. Also, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we are pushing to 58,000 subs already. You guys are the best for that. Hit that sub button, and we'll see you next time here on the Browns Report.